Hey everyone, Sojan here. I've been meaning to make this video. In fact, I actually made this video before and it got erased with most of my projects and everything else on a hard drive that I had all my stuff saved on. I made the mistake of not backing anything up to my computer or anywhere else, and now all that stuff is lost. So I figured I need to remake this video, and I'm doing that right now. So if you guys haven't already, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to some more videos, hit that bell icon if you want to be the first to see my notifications and so on. Without further delay, let's go ahead and jump into this. So right here, I have two Game Boys. One is a Game Boy Color and a Game Boy Advance. Something's a bit different about these though, is when you turn them on, they have a backlight screen. The difference between these two is that the left one is actually a Chinese screen going for about $35 to $45 on AliExpress. It has a blue tint to it, not too noticeable. It comes with a touchpad that you could put at the top anywhere you want as long as you're able to touch it. And I put it here at the infrared, where if you touch it, it lowers the brightness all the way down to the reflective screen, especially if you're in a highly lit area. The right one is the AGS 101 Game Boy Advance mod. The AGS 101 is the brighter Game Boy Advance SP handheld that came out around 2005. It's a backlit screen, it looks beautiful, and this was the method I went with that was expensive and is currently more expensive than it was back then. So how are these holding up? That's the whole point of this video, is to let you guys know how these have held up over time, and I gotta say, really well. Even though, yes, this screen is a bit smaller than the Game Boy Color's original screen, after playing it for a while and putting in a lot of hours into playing this Game Boy Color, I gotta say, it feels comfortable. It's not too much of a difference to notice, especially with the fact that I have a special glass lens that they provide you with. It looks beautiful and it's hardly noticeable after a while of playing. This is an aftermarket shell, and so is this one, and I gotta say, they are standing up very well, as I have been a klutz, and I gotta say, and I'm not proud to say it, I did drop them several times and they're holding up really well. This one's my favorite one, of course, because the AGS 101 screen is just that perfect backlight screen while still maintaining the original aspect ratio of the Game Boy Advance without making it look too good with the IPS screens. I've seen the IPS screen mods and they don't really interest me that much, but I gotta say, the Chinese screen in this one is the easiest one to install. It's a literal drop-in screen kit. You don't need the borders to hold it in place, similar to the Freckle Shack, because it doesn't come with one, but all you really need is just some clear box tape or some electrical tape, and you can hold it in place so it doesn't move around and you're fine. Or you can put like some foam or something on the sides to hold it in place, whatever you like to do. I found that putting several layers of tape holds it in place just fine. It doesn't move at all. With this one, I ended up going all out and getting a shell for this off of retro modding, with them trimming the shell itself for the AGS 101 screen, because I tried trimming an older shell I had originally with this Game Boy Advance and I failed miserably, so I had to go out of my way to get this shell. Originally this was black buttons on here, and this also had darker buttons on them too, but then I decided to switch back to the original buttons. The main reason for having the original buttons on the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy Color over the included buttons that came with the aftermarket shells is because of the fact that every time I played any of them, the D-pads were too mushy. They would press all the buttons at the same time whenever I would press down, and it's something that I couldn't control. Like when you're playing, especially like games like Zelda, you're automatically pressing these down, and I noticed the little nub underneath the aftermarket one were a bit too short. These were long enough, so it prevents that. Because I noticed when I played any game on here, especially Zelda Minish Cap or so, and I try to move the character and I'm pressing all the buttons down at the same time with the aftermarket button, I noticed that sometimes Link would freeze up and he wouldn't move at all. Same thing with games like Zelda Oracle of Ages, he would freeze up too. And then notably, Zelda Link's Awakening, whenever I would play that game, Link would just straight up disappear. Special shout out to KyleAwsm for letting me use this video clip in my video. Thanks again. you start swinging the sword with Link while pressing down all these buttons here with the aftermarket ones, and Link would just straight up disappear off the screen. It was really weird. So my recommendation is just keep the original buttons, at least for now, until you're able to find like really good aftermarket buttons. But I gotta say, comparing these to like a modded 3DS where I'm able to pull up Zelda the Minish Cap, there's no competition in comparison. Shout out to the limited edition Majora's Mask 3DS, just saying, it's awesome. You can mod a PSP, you can mod your 3DS and have better quality. You can even mod these with an IPS screen and make it better. But I gotta say, with the slightly lesser screens on here, like the AGS 101 versus IPS, and this Chinese screen right here versus like the AGS 101 mod and so on, it just gives me that nostalgic feeling like this is what I should have experienced when I was a kid. One thing I did forget to mention before I end this video is that the battery life for the Game Boy Color and the Game Boy Advance are actually really good. I currently use rechargeable AA batteries such as Energize. You can go to any Walmart or Target and purchase rechargeable AA batteries, and I highly recommend them. Honestly, I could go with the route with hard modding the systems and putting in a built-in rechargeable battery, but it doesn't feel nostalgic to me if I were to do something like that, and I kind of love to have the freedom of being able to put in AA batteries. On the brightest setting for the Game Boy Color, I have noticed 10 to 14 hours of non-stop gameplay before you notice that the batteries are going to die. And for the Game Boy Advance, right around the same, anywhere between 8 to 12 hours. So guys, if you like this video, go ahead and thumbs it up. If you don't like it, thumbs it down. Subscribe to see more videos. Comment below. Let me know what your favorite Game Boy system is. Hit that bell icon if you want to see more content like this. But I gotta say, after a year and a half, these have stood against the test of time. And if you want to be a patron, you can donate as low as $1 a month. Links will be in the description below for that, including my Twitter page at Sojan Nedos. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have an awesome day or night wherever you guys are in the world. Buttons. But I gotta say